In our today's episode, we have Bruce Yu joining us from Beijing, the capital of China. Mr. Bruce has master's degree in software engineering. He has been working in the IT industry for more than 15 years. In the recent years, he has worked for a US based company as a software architect. So, welcome, Bruce, to the show Let's Talk.
Hello, Vikas and everyone. Nice to meet you here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot, Bruce, for being a guest on our show. And we would like to know more about you in this discussion today. So, my first question for you will be: how is life in Beijing?
I think Beijing is a very big city. I believe we have 20 million people here. So we have a lot of job opportunities and it's very convenient for life. And for me, I just took my bachelor degree in Beijing and also my master degree. So I've been living here for almost 2 decades. So I love here. So that after my graduation, I just stayed here, and as I said, I'm working and living here. Yeah, I think it's quite good here, and also we have a lot of historical resorts here. So it's yeah, I like here
That's
definitely.
great. So, let's say if I have to visit Beijing or one of my friends has to visit Beijing. So, what kind of things would you recommend us to visit or the places to visit?
I think the first place came to my mind would be the Great Wall, because we have a saying in Chinese, something like um, only a great man can visit the Great Wall. So two greats together. So if you come to Beijing, I would recommend you to just go to Great Wall first, and then we have a Forbidden City where the old emperor lived. So you can also go there to see how they arrange the houses there and how they just worked there. You can see all the things, and I think they all preserved well. Other than that, maybe some other places, modern places like there's a playground, I can say, newly built. It's called Universal Studio, which is very interesting. I haven't been there. I plan to. So yeah, and also there are a lot of small places, all related about history. So if you come, I can also show you around. Then I think I cannot really elaborate everything, but yeah, if you come, I can give you more details.
Sure, it already seems interesting, and I believe like maybe I will have to visit with you to explore all the places. And the best part, when you mention only a great person can visit the Great Wall of China, so that was a beautiful saying. And
Yes.
I'm also intrigued about the dragon. I guess it symbolizes a lot in China. So can you share with us like what the dragon symbolizes?
I believe dragon symbolizes ambition and courage, mostly, I believe, in Chinese history. So everyone, especially the warriors, like in the old days, and if the warrior, the heroes, we always use dragon to symbolize their image. Like, okay, they have the courage, ambition to make them stronger and better. So I believe that's the symbol of China. I know we also want our country to be stronger and better day by day. I can tell you the story. And also the story happened in the old days, very long time, I think maybe hundreds of years ago. There is a man, and he lost his horses. And then the neighbors said, okay, it's so sad. You lost your horses, and maybe you cannot get it back anymore. Then the man said, not really. Maybe it's a good thing. After a few days, the lost horses came back with some wild horses together. So he got more horses. Then the neighbor came to him again and said, "Wow, you are very lucky. You got more horses." Yeah, and he said, "Maybe not really. Then several days later, because he had some wild horses, right? And then his son tried to just ride one, then broke the son's leg. The neighbor came and say, "Oh, you see, oh, very sad, and you just broke your son's leg by the wild horses." The man said, "Maybe not really, maybe not, that sad or unlucky." After a few days, the the army is asking people to join the army, but the son's leg was broken, so the son couldn't, join the army. And the neighbor came again, saying, "Wow, your son is very lucky, and he doesn't need to go to the army to really fight for the, invasion." Then, yeah, the guy said, "Yeah, maybe." So maybe that's the story. Like when you see something good, maybe something bad lies inside. But when you see something is bad, but actually maybe something good is inside. So maybe that's something, maybe I can say is a wisdom from the ancient people in China. So sometimes we don't really look at a point of time, but we see the whole. So maybe we can just, keep our positivity in life so we can always see the bright side.
Exactly. There is a saying like whatever happens, happens for the good. So
Yeah.
now I would like to know more about your hometown. So what is the climate like in your hometown and what are the specialities over there?
Okay. My hometown, actually, I was born in the northern part of China. It's very cold in winter. Usually in a year, we have 6 months for winter. So it's super cold. And also in winter, it snowed a lot. Every time it snowed, the world became a silver world and everything was covered by the snow. Other than that, we also build some ice houses there so that everyone can just go and view it. It's quite interesting, like ice castles and some other boats. Everything was made by ice. And but actually, I don't really like winter because it's too long, too cold. I cannot really go out. Always just stay outside. It's too cold. Usually, the temperature goes to maybe -30 or 40. It's super cold. So I like summer a lot when I was in my hometown because the temperature is moderate, maybe around 30 degrees. When in the summer the peak temperature, so I can just stroll around because there are some reserves nearby, and we can just go there to fish or to see the Koreans because my hometown was also named the home of Koreans. It's kind of a bird. I think, yeah, I for spring and autumn, I think not very interesting because usually we spend our time just working. So yeah, and also in my hometown, mostly the population are farmers, so they farm a lot, especially spring and autumn. So yeah, that's what we my hometown is like, the climate.
Yes, so it's very interesting as well, like the temperature going to both extremes, like in the negatives and in the positives. So people can enjoy both sides, and especially those ice castles and things made of the ice. And then suddenly, when the winters are gone, they can enjoy the summer. Now, I would like to know more about the languages you speak. I'm sure you would be speaking Mandarin already, English as well. So, how many languages do you speak and how do you learn a new foreign language?
I only speak two languages. One is Mandarin, the other, as you said, English. And actually, I started learning English in my middle school, so it's kind of late. And I like learning English because when I was young, the people around me told me that, okay, maybe you can just learn a foreign language, especially English, because it's commonly spoken worldwide. So if you can speak English, then definitely you are at an advantage. You can speak to anyone from anywhere of the world. So I just started learning English, and I think in my spare time I also spend much time on it, just like reading English books, watching English movies, and also I do some other things like try to memorize vocabulary, and also join some activities like a Toastmaster or some other public speaking communities. So I really like learning English, and I hope I can meet more people from different places and enjoy their culture and exchange information.
And that's a nice strategy. So you are not dependent on one way of learning English. You are trying different ways to learn English, and you are pretty good at it already. So it's just that maybe you are already at that level. And even I find it difficult sometimes to find the right words because we have to keep increasing the vocabulary. So yes, sometimes I also keep thinking like, okay, from where I can bring the word. So yes, we need to keep working on the vocabulary. Now, I would like to know more about your professional journey. So, as you are a software architect and you have been a project manager as well. So, what's your take on these two different types of professions?
I believe I started my career as a software developer, and I worked in Foxconn, Southstone, Pactera, some big companies, and I believe I have gained many experience from my job and also my peers. I find software industry is very interesting because nowadays you can see even now while using Zoom or computer, everything is about software engineering. And if you want to do something more in the future, especially virtually or remotely, you need software to support your goal. And for me, I'm working especially for some big companies to build some platforms or some products for them so that they can help more people to have a convenient life. And for me, I think if you are a software engineer or architect or something technical, mainly you just fight, just work, with yourself alone, because usually you need to spend time thinking what to do. But if you're a project manager, then it's a little bit different. You have a bigger picture. You need to think about the team, the product, the timelines, the cost, the budget, everything. So you have to consider more factors in a project. I believe both are good for me. Just, I came to this company, yeah, because they like my profession as my technical skills. Because when I came, they planned to create a new product. So I just came here to share my experience about software creating. Then, yeah, that's why I'm currently a software architect. But if there is a chance in the future, I can just contribute more by being a project manager, because I think I can mentor more people, help the team to grow faster, and build a more productive and efficient team.
Exactly, because being a software architect or a software developer, we can work alone, we can contribute as much as a single person. But being a team manager or project manager, we can like expand all our strengths and abilities, we can even delegate. So, yes, that is the right approach. Now, I would like to know more about the IT industry. You are in the software industry already for more than 15 years, and we all know that IT industry is evolving at a rapid pace, like it's evolving at a very fast pace. And we even have the AI already here, the robotics, and a lot of things. So, what is your plan to keep up with these changing times?
I believe just keep learning. That's the key, because just like you said, the technology is evolving rapidly. So if you don't learn, then someday you will just get out of the the range. So you really need to learn. And for me, I also keep learning. And I believe before the pandemic, and I took some certificates related project management and program management. But at the same time, reading some technical materials is essential. So I always keep an eye on different sources of information like AI, big data, and even now about Chat GPT, everything is. I mean, I can't imagine that the technology is developing so fast. So I believe, I mean, for everyone, don't worry about that. Keep learning. Yeah, future is there. It's just maybe they need people with different skills. But definitely we will. I mean, always in the job market.
Exactly. I saw a recent post in social media somewhere. So that's where the picture was, that people were busy with social media, looking at all those short videos, the funny stuff, and the AI was busy learning. So that's the thing we all have to take care of, being a human, that we should not be lost in the entertainment only, that we stop learning while the AI, it keeps learning at a rapid pace. So just to be on track, we should also learn with the technology. Yes, entertainment is required, it's needed, but then we have to keep a balance in this.
And also, I think AI is still a tool for people. And I think in the future, well, maybe AI can just do some basic works and everything. But if you learn the skills, you still at an upper level, and you can manage AI to do more things for a human. I don't think it is scary as just many people said. Oh, in the future, your job will be replaced by AI or something. No worries. I think it will make your job easier and simpler. So you just need to learn on how to use AI to do some work, repetitive work, especially in your daily routine, so that you will have a more productive, work schedule.
Exactly. Like we can take the example of Zoom itself. Like before COVID, it was not that much popular. In the IT industry, yes, it was popular. But those teachers who used to teach offline, they never thought about coming to Zoom. But then the time came, the necessity came. And when they started using it, the world has become so small that right now anybody can speak with anyone at any point of time. So that's what I also believe, is that resistance, especially with the evolution of technology, is not good. We should try to just go with it, because a lot of new things are waiting for us. So rather than resisting change, we should go with the change.
Yes.
So now I would like to know about your life's goal, and why I want to know the life's goal. Because when a person has decades of experience, they are clear on what I have to do in life, what I have already done. So everybody then thinks about a goal in life, how they can contribute to the world, or how they can give back to the society. So do you have a life goal?
Yes, definitely. I think I've been working in IT industry for many, many years. And I really hope that, in the future I can help more people, especially individuals or businesses, to have maybe make them have a better life or outcome. If possible in the future, if I have opportunities, especially if I can see an opportunity in business, maybe I will just create a company so that I can build my software and then help people. Now I'm also learning different skills like marketing, product management, and also I'm communicating with different people in different industries. I'm trying to figure out what their difficulty is, so that in the future, if I want to build something, it should be helpful for them. So currently, yeah, I'm still planning. At the same time, I have my full-time job, so yeah, I need to balance them and just spend my spare time more on learning. Yeah, that's the thing.
And that's great what you are doing, because the moment you start that kind of product, so I believe you will be bringing something new in the market. And my next question is slightly related to that. So, and it can be a tricky question. You can choose to answer that or give it a pass also. So, my next trick question is that what is that one thing which keeps happening maybe in the day to day life or all over the world, but it should be changed as soon as possible? Like, if I take one example, people keep resisting to the evolution of technology, but we know they should adapt the change. So, is there anything which you believe that keeps happening in the day to day life? People follow it, but maybe there is a better approach to do that.
Okay. I think is I think a lot of things in our life. There's no shortcut, and if you want to achieve, you really need to just go and do by yourself. Because as a saying goes in China, and your recognition decides how long you can go. So only you can realize how far you can go, then you can go there. And also I watched a video from Jim Rohn, a very famous public speaker, and he said, a building is built at the time that you imagine is built. So actually everything you should be proactive and do something that you like and dream it, but at the same time, you need to start to do it. As long as you have the goal, I have the dream, then you can do it. So I believe, yeah, if you want to do, and maybe you can break down your goals in life, then just do it little by little. I believe sooner or later in the future you will achieve your goal.
Exactly. Like the approach can be taking the baby steps, do it step by
Yes.
step. As we all know, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with that single step. So the most
Yes.
important thing is take one step, then another step, and keep moving. And one day you would have reached the goal. And now I would like to know more about Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. I'm sure you already know a lot more about them. So that's why I'm asking this question. Like, we all admire them, we are fascinated by them, but then being a native yourself and knowing them from very close, can you share some stories or insights about them which we might not be aware?
I believe, actually in my childhood, I like Bruce Lee a lot because he was a warrior, I believe, and he did a lot of great movies, and also he had a good name in martial arts industry. So when I was young, I also planned to go to Shaolin Temple to learn, how to fight. And but for Jackie Chan, uh, yeah, he is an actor only, I believe, in my own opinion. But also, I think he has the skills, and also he has the basics about the kung fu in China. So I think, of course, they are different. They are both movie stars and a martial art artist, maybe. And I like them, and I think um, when I see them, not only their acting career or their kung fu career or something, I see them as an inspiration, because I think when they achieve that high level, it's not only the kung fu or the movies they have filmed. I believe if it's their spirit and perseverance that bring them to that level, because there are a lot of movie stars in nowadays, and also a lot of people are practicing kung fu, but they are not famous. Why? So only the two of them, are very famous and on the top of the industry. I believe, yeah, we need, if we want to do something, we need commit ourselves into it. Then I think we can probably, achieve the goal. But sometimes we also need luck.
Yeah, thanks a lot for sharing some of the insight. And it has been a great discussion. And thanks a lot for being a part of this show, Bruce. And before we conclude this session today, do you have any special message for me and for all the audience around the world before we conclude this show?
Okay, I think today we talk about AI and job and the stars. I believe I just want to give a message to the world that if you have a dream, go for it and never give up, and just be committed and dedicated. Sooner or later, you will achieve whatever you want in life. That's my message.
So, as Bruce says, if you have a dream, go for it, never look back. And also, I would just like to add, because I believe that mentors play a very important role. So, I want to ask this one more question, like, do you have a mentor?
Yes, definitely. I think, I have many mentors. Sometimes maybe I just ask them to be my mentor, but sometimes maybe not. I just learn from them, because as long as they have good qualities or they have better qualities than me, I can ask them as my mentor so that I can learn more. I can just better myself every day. So it's very important. I also think that's how the human society is advancing, right? We just always learn from the people, before us, so that we can just innovate, or we have some ideas to generate and to make better things.
Yes, and that's the most important. So when I was talking, when you mentioned about the life's goal, having a dream and going for it, so that reminded me that always make sure to have a mentor, because you might make some mistakes or you might go on a completely wrong path. So if you have a mentor, that mentor will tell you, okay, you are going in a completely wrong direction. You can take this path, and you will have the time to think, okay, I was moving maybe away from my goal. Let me come back to this. So my personal recommendation would be go for a mentor. And Bruce, you have been a great guest on this show and you have shared a lot of insights with us. So thanks a lot for being part of this show.
Thank you, Vikas.
You're welcome.